Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing solid black trunks and hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 261 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 17 wins, no losses, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the undefeated fighter, known as Rock Solid, introducing Darmani Rock. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round co-main event, wearing black trunks with silver trim, fighting out of Orlando, Florida by way of Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 270 1/4 pounds. A former U.S. Marine is undefeated in his campaign in the professional boxing ranks with a record of 11 wins, no losses, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the undefeated Michael P.A.N. Coffie. And the referee in charge now to give instructions, Jack Reese.
Hey, Rock, you guys want to come in? Right here, please. Right here, right here. Okay, mouthpiece. Okay, mouthpiece. Okay, both of your trunks are great. I gave you guys both instructions. I just want to remind you, please listen and follow my instructions at all time. Protect yourself at all time. Good luck to both of you.
This is a fascinating matchup. Michael Coffie took up boxing at the age of 29. Again, 8 years in the Marines, so he does not have the amateur background. Darmani Rock has the amateur background. Former amateur standout, gold medalist at the Youth World Championships back in 2014. Clearly not in the best of shape, though. But Sean Porter, and I'm just going to be honest, but he was the #1 ranked heavyweight in the United States when he left the amateurs. What do you think happens?
Focus, man, determination and discipline, you know. We'll see what he's got, though.
Yeah, and Michael Coffie has been stepping up. Again, went up against Joey Abel last time out. That was in his last fight. And he was kind of learning on the job against Abel and saying that he needed to face someone who had more professional fights. Again, starting boxing when you're older is more difficult. He's only 5 years into his professional career, but he's facing a guy who's also undefeated and a guy who just has that amateur pedigree. Early on, throws the left hand, and Coffie comes out fighting out of the southpaw stance.
Well, Coffie, tricky right there, too. He threw it, feinted to the body and came with overhand right, and he landed it.
Also trying with the hook as well. He goes back to the orthodox stance. Coffie prides himself on his ability to learn, to soak up information. Says that's why he's been able to make such strides as a heavyweight, even though he started so late.
Looks like it. You know, I can see where he's thinking, and he's trying to work on things and set things up, opposed to just punching.
Both men taking a long look. Coffie, again, a naturally big man, but he is light on his feet. He's very coordinated. He's able to get out of the way of those jabs and the hook from Rock. He is a veteran in heavyweight camps from Deontay Wilder. 4 different camps with the former heavyweight champion of the world. So he has been in there with the best, and he has learned to control his weight. Obviously, 8 years in the Marines, Sean, he has learned discipline, and he said the main thing that it's helped him with is to compartmentalize and worry about just what's in front of you, and that seems to be very valuable in the ring.
Oh, very valuable for a fighter. When you can compartmentalize things, break things down, and handle them one thing at a time, it makes life much easier for a fighter. We can't handle too much at one time.
Well, it is. There's a lot in front of you as he backs up Rock a little bit. But he talks about, you know, being on a shooting range where they place you on an anthill, let the ants crawl all over you, and you can't adjust to the ants. You need to shoot. Yeah. So that'll get you ready for, you know, Darmani Rock.
Absolutely.
Like, at that point, I'll fight Darmani Rock rather than do that.
I like to see Darmani not just stand there. You know, both these guys are, you know, it's a little bit of a filling out round, first round, but Darmani's got to use his jab more, and he's got to try to set some things up, use some feints, and see what Coffie wants to do.
Sean, I think that's a good point, because Rock is the experienced guy. If he came out, you know, throwing a jab constantly, he could, you know, take control of this fight and let Coffie know, no, I'm the boss here.
I mean, I don't mean to joke around, but he doesn't look like he's in shape enough to really, you know, get down the way he used to as an amateur.
Final seconds, round number 1 scheduled for 10. His shot at the title. He's held this belt before several years ago. Beat James DeGale in London, England, a well-earned decision. And he is up next, fighting for the 168-pound World Championship. Here, heavyweights in the ring. Michael Coffie and Darmani Rock. Coffie in the black and silver. Rock in the black trunks. Brian Kenny and Sean Porter here. And Sean, I thought you made an excellent point in that Rock, again, he's 17-0. He's got the amateur background. You would figure a man in his position could at least set the pace and the tone that, wait a second, you can't box at my level, but he did not do that in round one.
Yeah, I mean, let me also say that we as fight fans, as analysts right now, we have to revert our mind, retrain our mind, because now there's two heavyweights in the ring, so we can't expect 50, 60, 70 punches around. They're not going to do that. However, I'm not saying do that. I'm saying set something up. Use more than just one jab and stand and wait, one jab and stand away. Use a feint, use a jab to the body, you know, change your levels and see what Coffie wants to do, and that'll give you something to work with.
Two hard shots there from Rock, able to answer and hit Coffie to the body. It's just that Coffie is very late to the game. And look, he's an intellectual as well. He's constantly studying fights and fighters, and he has a natural aptitude for it. You couldn't get in there and box at this level if you didn't, at least with his level of experience. But if you allow him to get comfortable, I'm just thinking, Sean, you know, you're playing into Coffie's hands, where he starts to think and he starts to come up with some new concepts.
If anything, you could say that's where he's from. He's from a strategical background, and that's where his success lies. That's where he becomes a problem. And the more you allow him to assess what's going on and figure out what he wants to do and get comfortable, the harder of a night it becomes. Now Darmani's doing the right thing by laying on him and getting up close, now allowing him to use his offense, but then now you're still giving, I think he's taking a knee.
Uppercuts there. Now, I don't know if he took a knee. Was he forced down? I think he said he was put down, but Sean, to your point, it may have come from the uppercuts where he actually did take a knee. Jack Reese did not call that a knockdown.
He did not call it a knockdown. I actually thought he did land the uppercut that hurt him a little bit. But
hard body shots as well from Coffie. Coffie is able to land some body shots to that ample body from Rock. So watch this on the left, and you'll see, was it a low shot? That was right on the waistline, at least on the belt line.
Took some glitter off of that Rock.
Literally.
It did. No, it did. I saw it.
Just wonder where you're going there. You can see the punches landed in the lower left. 27-8 now in favor of Michael Coffie. First time we've seen Caleb in action since Canelo Alvarez came up and beat Callum Smith for two of the other belts at 168 pounds. As these two get at it right away in round number 3, Michael Coffie and Darmani Rock. And look at Rock now imposing his will and forcing Coffie to the ropes.
I didn't hear Darmani's corner this time.
Whoa! Oh, big hook by Coffie, and down goes Rock.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are you okay? Give me those gloves. You want to continue? Walk to me.
Jack Reese got to 9.5 and did the right thing.
Box.
All right, what are we going to do here?
Absolutely, absolutely. So now let's see how he reacts. Darmani Rock went down. That was a beautiful hook by Coffie, Sean.
I thought it was uppercut. There's another.
Oh, and that hook puts him down again.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow.
And it's over. Jack Reese got to 7. He was going to get to 10, and there is an impressive knockout from Michael Coffie against another unbeaten heavyweight. Coffie takes care of business.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That looked like big uppercuts, left uppercuts. And then the second one looked more like a hook to me, but the first one looked like a big uppercut. But either way, I mean, that's some serious power right there for that man, Coffie.
He looked like he just jumped back and snapped that off. I thought it was more of a hook. He will take a look again. But the way he put him down, got himself, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he got himself a little room, right? Bought himself a little space.
I was going to say.
And then triggered that shot. Wow. Darmani Rock, 17-0. Here, we'll take a look at that first knockdown. Got himself a little bit of space. There you go. You're right, Sean. Yep. Uppercut coming from the side.
And what do? We talked about Coffie being able to assess what was going on and make adjustments. And right there, the previous round, Darmani was laying on him, and he figured out, I need to create some space, and boom. Big
Left hook to the temple, and that ends it. Wow, Michael Coffie, 8 years in the Marines, 2 tours in Afghanistan. Is next, Caleb Plant, Caleb Truax. And as Sean Porter and I were explaining just a moment ago, if you let Michael Coffie, Marine, coolly assess and strategize, you could be in trouble. And Coffie with a big win as he moves up the heavyweight ranks. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. and get the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 59 seconds of round number 3. A referee in charge, Jack Reese, stops the contest. The winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Michael P.A.N. Coffie.
And credit to Jack Reese for having the long 9 count. 8, 9, and then he got up and allowed Darmani Rock to give it another shot. Then he got knocked out by the hook, and Michael Coffie with the demonstrative win.